Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Mulyadi Syahputra, dosen program studi S1 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggirs, Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Bina Bangsa Getsempena. Adapun mata kuliah yang saya ampu yang terkait dengan bidang keahlian saya, yaitu berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris, adalah pertama, Speaking for General Communications, Speaking in Professional Context, Critical Speaking, dan terakhir adalah Public Speaking. Untuk demonstrasi kali ini, saya akan berfokus kepada mata kuliah Public Speaking yang merupakan mata kuliah lanjutan dari Critical Speaking. Mata kuliah ini diberi bobot 2 SKS yang dilaksanakan pada semester 4 dengan deskripsi mata kuliah sebagai berikut. Mata kuliah ini memberikan pemahaman tentang teori dan praktik berkomunikasi lisan yang dilakukan di depan publik seperti presentasi ilmiah, pidato, baik itu formal ataupun informal, menjadi moderator, master of ceremony, debat, dan storytelling. Adapun capaian mata kuliah Public Speaking adalah sebagai berikut. Pertama, mahasiswa mampu menerapkan pemikiran logis, kritis, sistematis, dan inovatif dalam konteks pengembangan teori berkomunikasi lisan di depan publik. Yang kedua, mahasiswa mampu mengevaluasi penggunaan teori berkomunikasi lisan yang dilakukan di depan publik sesuai dengan teori-teori yang relevan. Yang ketiga, mahasiswa mampu mengembangkan konsep berkomunikasi lisan di depan publik sesuai dengan kondisi nyata di masyarakat. Adapun model pengajaran pada mata kuliah Public Speaking adalah pertama, ceramah, kedua, inquiry based learning, ketiga, problem based learning, keempat, case study, dan kelima adalah discovery learning. Untuk video pengajaran ini, saya menggunakan discovery learning dengan 5 sintaks. Yang pertama adalah stimulation, problem statement, data collection, data processing, dan data verifications. Adapun referensi yang digunakan untuk mata kuliah ini adalah buku dan jurnal ilmiah yang relevan. Untuk buku, saya menggunakan Fundamental of Public Speaking, dan yang kedua adalah Public Speaking and Concept Skill for Diverse Society yang ditulis oleh Clela Jeff. Yang ketiga adalah The Everything Public Speaking Book, Deliver a Winning Presentation Every Time yang ditulis oleh Smith Scott. Selanjutnya adalah Public Speaking The Evolving Art yang ditulis oleh Koopman. Selanjutnya adalah The Art of the Exceptional Public Speaker atau Power Speaking yang ditulis oleh Noah. Selanjutnya adalah Public Speaking Everything You Need to Know yang ditulis oleh Jesse Lamberton. Adapun media pembelajaran yang digunakan untuk pengajaran Public Speaking ini adalah video yang relevan yang diharapkan bisa seautentik mungkin. Yang kedua adalah PowerPoint, yang ketiga adalah speaker, spidol, dan sebagainya. Selanjutnya, untuk mencapai tujuan tersebut, adapun materi yang diajarkan pada 16 kali pertemuan adalah pertama, Introduction to Public Speaking, kedua, Logos, Ethos, Pathos in Public Speaking, ketiga, The Impact of Each Aspect to Speaker and Audience, keempat, The Type of Public Speaking by its Purpose, kelima, Moderator in International Meeting, keenam, Master of Ceremony in International Academic Meetings, 7. Academic Paper Presentations, 8. Introduction to Debate, 9. Forming a Logical Matter, 10. Logical Fallacies in Public Speaking, 11. Introduction to Entertainment Public Speaking, 12. Informative Public Speaking and its Characterization. Mata kuliah ini merupakan mata kuliah praktik yang mana teori-teori dilengkapi dengan praktik, sehingga mahasiswa bukan hanya fokus kepada teori, tapi juga langsung mempraktikkan teori-teori yang sudah dipelajari ke dalam aplikasi yang nyata. Adapun untuk demonstrasi kali ini, saya akan memperagakan pengajaran untuk mata kuliah Public Speaking dengan topik Logos, Ethos, and Pathos in Public Speaking. Berikut adalah cuplikan pertemuan saya dengan mahasiswa saat pembelajaran berlangsung. Alright, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi rasulillah ajma'in, amma ba'du. How are you everyone? Okay. Today we are going to discuss the understanding of logos and ethos and pathos in public speaking. But before moving on to the topic, I want to ask you about the topic that we have discussed about the introductions of public speaking in the previous meeting. All right. Do you know what is public speaking? Dinda, what is public speaking? Yeah.
Public speaking is we talk in public with people, in front of people with.
All right, that's a good answer, right? Talking to, speaking in public means public speaking, all right? But now we are going to see the element of logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking that is very important for you to understand later on, right? So the objective of this study, the objective of today's lesson is the students are expected to understand the concept of logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking. Second, the students are expected to be able to identify logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking. The third one is the students are expected to analyze the appropriate use of logos, ethos, and pathos in public speaking. So at the end of this class, you guys need to be able to understand the concept, to identify, and also to use appropriately logos, ethos, and pathos. All right? Okay. But before that, I'm gonna divide you into team. So you guys, both of you will be one team. You guys, both of you will be one team. All right? So the work will be in team later on. Do you know who is she? She is very small. She is child. All right? Okay. Her name is Molly Wright. Okay. Molly Wright is a grade 2 student from Queensland, Australia. So she's only 2, grade 2, right? Elementary school. She is an inspiring wildlife warrior, performer, and budding social activities. With the help of other parents, she runs Molly's Wildlife Warrior, a group of 40 children who raise awareness and fund for Currumbin Wildlife Hospital Foundation in Queensland. All right. So why do we need to know about her? Okay. Because later, you guys will be listening to her speech, her way of public speaking. All right. So we are going to identify this the speech of her. All right. So please observe the video that I'm going to show you. Okay. All right. Listen up.
What if I was to tell you that a game of peekaboo could change the world? I'm Seven, and this is my little friend Ari. Say hi, Ari. Well, I'm here today to prove it's not. Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm Seven, and this is my little friend Ari away now to get ready for our experiment. But don't worry, they'll be back. My talk today is about some powerful things we grown-ups can do that shape us as children and the adults we become. How do I know? Because my parents and people around me did them, early and often. I know not all kids are as lucky. Some of my friends, some kids at my school, and many around the world. And I would really like to help change that. Thanks to scientists, we now know just how important the first 5 years are for our health and development, especially our brains. Ari started learning long before he was even born, from inside his mummy's tummy. When Ari was born, he was tiny, and he cried all the time. He was always hungry, and he pooped a lot. Now, he laughs and giggles and makes funny noises. But those are just the changes we hear and see. There's way more going on inside. So, let's talk more about our brains. The blue bag it's almost 90% the volume of an adult brain. Our brains develop faster in our early years than at any other time in our lives. It can create up to 1 million neural connections every second, but we need your help. Our healthy development depends on these top 5 things. 1. Connecting. 2. Talking. 3. Playing. 4. A healthy home. 5. Community. All of this helps our brains and us reach our full potential. So what's something you can do that can really make a difference? Scientists call it serve and return. That's just a grown-up way of saying connect, talk, and play with us. And here's the really big news. Amjad, Ari, you ready? Copycat games build imagination and empathy. Naming games build vocabulary and attention. And games like peekaboo, yep, peekaboo, actually build memory and trust. Each time you talk to us, play with us, make us laugh, it not only builds and strengthens our relationships and mental health, it actually teaches us some of the most important life skills, from making friends to taking a test, to getting a job, to one day maybe even starting a family of our own. Interactions early in opposite matter. Take it from me, the 7-year-old up here, talking about great science. Okay, now let's see what happens when the connection is taken away. So now he's trying to get his dad's attention again. He's reaching out like, that was fun, why did you stop? I know it's important for adults to use their devices sometimes, but kids are hardwired to seek out meaningful connections. Not receiving them causes confusion and stress. Okay, Major, please re-engage. Now, what if a whole childhood was like that last 30 seconds? How hard it would be for a child to feel calm, to feel safe, to learn to trust anyone, and the lifelong impact that would have. That makes me feel sad. Ari only reacted the way he did, but recovered so quickly because the connection between him and his dad is usually so strong. The positive relationships with the grown-ups in our lives gives kids the confidence we need to try new things, to explore, and be kids. So please try to remember, the most special period for our development is the first 5 years. Sorry. What's something really impactful you can do? Serve and return. And when? Early and often. Please give it up for Amjad and Ari. Every moment together is an opportunity to connect, talk, and play. Imagine the difference we could make if everyone everywhere did this. To us, to children, it's so much more than just a game. It's our future. Thank you. See? Peekaboo really can change the world.
So, you guys have observed the videos, alright? My question throughout the video is, number 1, do you trust what Molly Wright stated in her speech? Do you trust her? Do you trust her? Do you trust her? Alright. Do you feel that what Molly Wright said is somehow true? Yes or not? Yes, good. Second question. How deep that you feel what Molly Wright stated in her speech? Do you feel it in deep, like benar-benar terasa or not? Yes, 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 yes. Alright. So we are in the same page, right? So all of us believe that what Molly Wright said statement is somehow true and it's fact, and that's what we should do, right? Okay. Now, I want you guys to discuss, alright? I want you guys to discuss in about 5 minutes to 7 minutes. What is the three factors, at least three factors, that make you believe to Molly Wright on her speech? Okay? So you need to discuss in about 5 to 7 minutes, talking about what is the things that make you believe her. Okay? Alright, so you may do the discussions. Alright. The question is simple. Why do you believe her? Okay. Now, I want you guys to say one representation from each team. What is the thing that make you believe on Molly Wright's statement? Okay. The second team. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Can you please stand up? Why do you believe her?
For the first, I think what Molly said is really, really true, and that's right. Because why? Because as an adult, we have to feel that when we are children, we need that communication, or we need about that.
Okay.
And that is really affect to our life and along our life. That is why I think that.
Alright, thank you. So that teams agrees that they believe on what Molly's statement is because this is a fact, right? This is somehow true. That's what we feel. That's why we need to believe on her. Okay, how about this team? Anyone? Okay, stand up.
Okay, we also do learn about Molly's statement because between a child and adult have the big or often interaction each other. It's like a logic statement because they can have a good interaction and have the big impact if they have a bad interaction or something like that.
Alright, thank you for this team. Alright, so a round of applause for everyone. I think that what you found in the discussion is somehow true, right? But before that, let me show you something. Okay? There are three factors that actually affect what Molly said, right, in her speech. Number one, we call it pathos. Number two, we call it logos. Number three, we call it ethos. Okay, this is important. Okay? So these three ideas is actually proposed by one of the very respected, what we call it, scholar. The name is who? Anyone? Who is the one who proposed this? Is anyone know? Aristotle, right? The theory of Aristotle back then, hundreds of years ago, still being used right now. So that's what I think this theory is very important to understand, right? So what is actually pathos? Remember that pathos is a heart, okay? So it talks about empathy, values, and aspirations. So if you want to make someone believe in you, in your public speaking, then you need to use this pathos first. What is pathos mean? Pathos mean is the way how you deliver your speech could touch someone's heart. How do you do that? Number one, you can choose emotional point and topic. If you talk about their babies, if you talk about their parent, if you talk about their family, so it will be more touching their heart, right? Or analogies and metaphor. They use analogies a lot. Ensure that emotion you want to introduce is suitable for the context. If you are sad, then your eyes should be sad. Your face should look sad. If you are angry, you should show that you are in anger, right? So that's what we need. Using humor sometimes. Visual aids. Visual aid is also important, right? The way how you actually show yourself to the audience. Stand as close as you can to the audience. Do not being too far from the audience. And also use words that carry suitable connotations. Okay? For example, if you use imagine what happened in the future, for example, instead of using this, you can use another stronger word, for example, like imagine if your child 30 years later will be like this, for example. So the word, the connotations choice is also important. Alright? That's what Molly did. The second one is logos. Logos, imagine logos is a head. It talks to our brain, it talks to our thinking, right? The way how we perceive information and then prove the reason, logic or not, state, metaphor, and etc. So be comprehensive, okay? Talk about something that the speaker and audience know. No matter how hard, no matter how easy to bring heart or pathos to the speech, but if the audience did not understand what we are talking, it will be useless. So be comprehensive should be understood by the listener and also the speaker. And also be logical, okay? Be logic. And also be specific toward a topic and do not do around the bush statement, right? Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is ethos, alright. So ethos is the positions or the performance of the speaker himself or herself, okay? So trustworthy and respect, similarity to audience, do you carry the same problem with the audience? Authority, expertise, and reputation in host story. Okay, let's talk about what happened in Molly, right? Heart. What Molly did is actually using pathos. What do they do? What number did Molly perform? Number 1, there is an emotion, right? When Molly said that's what makes me sad. So Molly, did not even smile. Okay? And also using humor, right? And then visual aid, analogies and metaphor also. So Molly used this kind of thing. How about logos? Is it logic? How? Dari mana kamu tahu it is logic? Yes, she shows the scientist result, and also she performed, right, back then, right? Showing that, no, what I'm trying to say is true. How about this? Ethos. What Molly did is actually authority, expertise, right, and authority. What does expertise mean? Just because Molly is a child and she talk about children, she talk about child emotions, so it become more trusted, right? And she has this authority. Imagine if, for example, someone talking about that matter, but she is someone that old enough, but we do not know who she is, then probably we are not going to be touched that way, right? Okay, that is why Molly, right, use these 3 idea. Remember, what is first one? Pathos, logos, and ethos. So this is very important for every public speaking. All right? Okay. Why do you think that make audience believe in the speech of Molly Wright? Because she used how many aspects in the speech? 3, right? She used logos, she used ethos, she used pathos. All right. What are the most essential aspects in the speech? Which one is the most important between those 3? Logos, right? And then pathos, and then ethos. All right. So that are the orders. And then last one, what is logos? Anyone? Emotional logos. Logos mean logical. And then ethos.
We talk with our experience, penampilan.
All right. Ethos is ethics or credibility, right? And then pathos. Okay. Emotions, feeling, and heart. Okay. Right. So. Right? So is there any question? Is there any question? No, if you have any question, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. No? Alright, if there's no such question, this is what we need to discuss in the upcoming meeting, right? Number 1, what are the impact of each aspect? It is logos, ethos, and pathos into you as the speaker, and also the audiences themselves. Okay, so we see how each of the elements could actually impact the speaker and also the audiences at the same time. So this is what we're going to discuss in the upcoming meeting. All right, so I think that's the end of the class. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for coming. So I hope that you discuss or you find out the things that we are going to discuss in the upcoming meeting. And if you have any question later on, feel free to address it to me. And also do not forget to highlight the meeting in the OpenSimca as usual. Alright? Alright, I think that is all. Thank you everyone for coming and have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.